You are watching The Solitary Pride. My name is Rob. Thank you so much for coming by. Basically, I've been wanting to do this channel for probably about 2 years. 2 years ago I announced that I was going to be doing this. I'm glad I waited because it tempered a lot of my views on things, especially in what is now called the manosphere channels, the red pill space, MGTOW also. But if you don't know what that is, I suggest looking it up. I really don't want to get too bogged down into that for right now. But basically it's mostly has to deal with men and their issues and things of that nature. Now, the reason why I decided to do this is I had seen a myriad of channels from all different kinds of people from all walks of life, but what I was not seeing a lot of was guys that are my age who've got a little bit more wisdom and a little bit less hot-headedness behind them doing these kind of content channels. And some of them, I gotta be straight up honest, when I watched them, I'm like, this guy's still bitter, this guy's still angry, this guy's a crude butthole. And I really didn't want to, that's not the person that I want to be. And the guys, I would definitely tell you, I don't think it's the person you want to be either. I mean, they might be making money off of their views, but I mean, as people, are they really growing, especially if they're doing the same thing time and time again? And the answer is no. So what I decided to do, especially for the first one, is I was very, very concerned, especially with fellas that are starting to watch red pill content. They're watching the MGTOW content, they're watching Manosphere, whatever. I became very, very concerned about a lot of it because they go off on, shall we say, too many tangents. They're trying to throw sometimes a lot of crap at a guy all at once, especially you younger fellas that probably don't know any better. I mean, heck, I'm an older man, and even I would tell you that up until about probably 13 to 15 years ago, I didn't understand it either, what was going on. Now I do. What I wanted to do is start from a place, especially if you were a guy that has just, you went through a very bad divorce, you went through a long-term relationship in which you got severely hurt, and it's hard to get over. Maybe you started watching some of this kind of content, maybe not. What I wanted to do was boil down the things that really helped me get through, because for a while I was overwhelmed by watching a lot of this stuff. And some of what they were talking about smelled a little bit like somebody was spreading manure outside my window. What I did is I took 6 basic tenets. I'm actually going to add a 7th one. But there's 6 basic tenets that I had used. And many times I had to repeat these tenets to myself out loud every day, just to remind myself, this is what I need to do. This is what I need to do to heal. This is who I am. I do not deserve being this. I might not deserve this, but if I work for it, then I do. And my expectations upon another person are going to be higher. So, pretty much without further ado, let's get to it. Point number 1. Your plan A in life always trumps someone else's plan B. What exactly does that mean? What that means is, especially if you're with someone, you're in love, maybe she's got a ring on her finger, and you both decide your plan A in life is the two of you are going to spend your life together. She's yours, you're hers. And all of a sudden you get that strange, maybe call or conversation or text that says, I want to take a break from the relationship. Until I figure things out. Can we still be friends? Okay? What she is literally doing is taking you from her plan A and putting you in as plan B while you still have her as plan A. Don't do that. I'm going to tell you why. Number 1, if a woman ever tells you that, she wants to put a break on the relationship, what that means is, number 1, she's either looking to step out, thinking she might be able to do better than you, which is kind of disrespectful actually. Or 2, the ultimate disrespect, she already has, and she wants, shall we say, a light letdown, so she doesn't look like the bad guy. So she doesn't look like the bad guy or bad girl in this case. The second part of that is keeping you as a friend. Guys, do not do it. If you love her, if you have feelings for her, and she does this to you, you need to cut it off immediately. Immediately. Distance yourself from her, cut yourself off. The reason being is she's leaving you in that secondary position. You're now her backup plan. Just in case, whoever it may be doesn't work out. Whether she's with or whoever she goes to explore, she finds out really isn't interested in her. Okay? So don't do that. What it also does is it puts you in a position of basically you're like a simp. And if anybody doesn't know what a simp means, look it up. Okay? It puts you in that position. The other thing that it also does to you is you end up becoming basically her go-to guy, her emotional doormat, essentially, her emotional sponge. Don't stay there. You don't deserve that. If she's not yours, move on. Does it hurt? It hurt like hell when I did it. Excuse me, my voice is cracking. It hurt like hell when I did it. And it hurt for a long time. A long time. Out of 5 years after the relationship was over, I probably spent about 4 of it in pain. Quite often. But I stayed the course, and it's been very, very rewarding. To be kind of a clap back to having that happen, this is my motto. You either follow me, you walk with me, or you get out of my way, because I have no time to have my time wasted, especially the older I get. And for a lot of you guys that think that this doesn't happen in the church, no, it does. It does. I've seen it happen way more than it should. It's happening just as frequently in the church as it does actually outside of it. So when you hear people, oh, you need to find a good church girl. Nah, they're really not that much different. They may have Jesus in their heart. They may love Jesus, but that doesn't mean that they haven't, been gotten too much of the way of the world. Number 2, the reason why I called this channel the Solitary Pride Journals. Okay, journal is basically me talking about this. I've got a journal laying here in front of me. The solitary pride. Now, what a pride is a lion's social circle with their family. Solitary means, of course, solo, one, like me. Just because you are alone doesn't mean you need to be lonely. You can just as easily go get a good friend group, go find an activity where you can connect with new people. Maybe one of them would be a girl, maybe not. But don't make that your be all end all. The second one is, as a Christian man, I am never truly alone anyway. God is with me. He said, I will never leave you nor forsake you. And I believe that in my heart of hearts. I know he was with me the whole time. The whole time he was with me. And I never gave up. I never got mad at God for that, because I know that's not God's fault. That's a human's fault. Number 3, do not hate the women you used to love. That is not beneficial to you to have a successful and happy life to move forward. Carrying hatred in yourself, or unresolved anger, or carrying a grudge, it's like carrying a boulder in a backpack while you're trying to climb a mountain to get to a goal. The only thing it's going to do is weigh you down. Forgive that person. Remember, when you're forgiving them, you're not forgiving them for them. You're forgiving them for you. The reason being is you want to be free of that burden, to get rid of it. To be done with it. Because as long as you carry hatred in that form of that kind of boulder on your back, you're carrying them with you too. And after what they did to you, would you really want to keep carrying them? I certainly hope not. It's going to cause problems in your life to carry that kind of hatred. It will affect you not only emotionally, it will also affect you physically, and yes, as a Christian, it will affect you spiritually as well. It will interfere with your walk with the Almighty. Understand that forgiveness is kind of a selfish act, because it isn't for the person you're forgiving. It's for you. It's for you. I even gotten to a point sometimes with people in my past where I actually even ask other people within the church to actually pray for that person for me, because I couldn't do it anymore. They had literally pushed me to that point where I literally would start to try to pray for them, I would literally feel bile starting to come up in the back of my throat. That's how much they had wronged me. But I didn't, I wanted to keep on that path. Do whatever it takes. I hear the term forgive and forget all the time. Not the term, the phrase. But the phrase forgive and forget. We as humans cannot forget. God can. We cannot. And if we could, we'd be repeating the same mistake time and time and time and time again. I would say, if you say forgive and forget, when you forgive often enough until that burden is finally gone, you forget kind of what it felt like in that moment. You remember up here, but you don't remember here. It doesn't feel like that anymore because you're not in that place anymore. There's actually a psychological study that says that basically, in fewer or less words, if you're holding on to emotions from the past, your body cannot differentiate between the past and now. So when you're living in the past, you're bringing your past forward with you, and your body, your mind, your emotions are going to react accordingly. That's zero growth. It means you haven't moved on from that. So I would say, yeah, you don't forget that it happened. You just don't live in those moments anymore. You've walked away from that moment. You've walked away from that person. You've forgiven them. Let it go. The disciples asked Jesus, how many times am I supposed to forgive somebody? And Jesus said 70 times 7 if you need to. And they're like, well, that's kind of weird. Why would he put a number on it? Because the more you keep doing it for that person, eventually it does take. It's not sometimes, I prayed to God to forgive him and I'm still angry, so we'll do it again. And keep doing it until it's gone, because it does pass. All right, number 4. I hear this all the time. You want to be the best version of yourself, okay? The best version of yourself is you work, earn the money. Work on your appearance. Work on, lifting weights. That's a lot of what they say. I would also say work on your spiritual life as if you're a Christian man, even if you're a non-believer, you guys are more than welcome to listen. Work on every aspect of you. You want to be the best version of you that you can. And work on, like for me, this actually became something scary. Right now I'm terrified, to be kind of honest. Not terrified in, like a girly way or anything, but, it's rough. This video is going to be very rough. It's off the cuff. It's probably going to have very little, if any, editing. And, but you know what? Just do it. Just do it. I'm not getting any younger. And it's been really, really on me to do this. Because I'm very concerned about the younger generation of my family, the younger generations in my friends' family, both men and women. And it really affects me deeply. So you want to heal? You want to keep learning. Reading is a big way. For myself, I like reading not just the Bible, but I also like reading classical philosophers. I kind of shied away from this stuff. I used to read horror, sci-fi, and fantasy all the time. I still indulge every now and again, but I don't think I've read anything fictional within the last, oh my word, probably 3 to 4 years. It's been about 3 or 4 years since I've read anything that's fiction. But classical philosophers, I'm going to be talking about that in a later video. Another thing I would say is, if you're picking the same type of woman time and time and time again, the same thing keeps happening to you, you have to identify, even us as men, you have to identify what is the common denominator in your relationships. Well, it's you. You need to work on that. Okay? That is one thing I had done, which is when this last thing had happened to me that was catastrophic. I was literally thrown for a loop for what was going on because I had gone to counseling. All the women, including this woman that I had dedicated, from friendship all the way up, 5 years of my life. 5 years. And in the last 6 months is when the cracks started appearing, but they could have easily been written off as someone else. I'll get to that in a different video. Now, here's another thing is, they say, you're the prize. Okay? Well, yeah. But you need to work on being the prize. You can't be some kind of, neck-bearded mouth breather who gets out of breath just walking to the mailbox and plays Fortnite all day long, so, thinking, well, I'm the prize, man, I'm gonna get, no, you're not. You need to be one. You need to work. Even if you don't want to look like, so-and-so, make a better version of you. Make a better version of you. I heard this, I don't know if this was actually Bo Refik himself from Legion of Men who said this, or he picked it up from somewhere else. But the dream version of you is the disciplined version of the man you are now. Perfect. I don't think I could have said it any better. So you want to be a prize? Well, to a small degree you kind of are. God doesn't make junk, but we can make junk out of ourselves. Now, a lot of guys are doing that these days, and they're sitting back, kind of getting high off of a lot of the red pill content. Guys that are, between 30 and 35 going, hey, I can tell you how you can go out and get girls. Get real. Get real. Do you need social skills? Yes. If your social skills aren't very good, work on them. Work on them. Are they easy to do? Nope. Is it easy to do? No. But it's worth doing. Anything that is worth doing is never easy. Never. Now, also, one of the things I would say concerning with, having the attitude of thinking of yourself as the prize, you still need to be humble. You still have to have humility. And a lot of guys I see in these Manosphere channels, if you guys are gonna explore any of them any further, watch. If there's arrogance, they're no prize. And unfortunately, quite a few of them are very arrogant. There's no humility to them whatsoever. So I will tell you this, you need to be humble enough to know you are not perfect. But you can work on being the best version of yourself you can be. We are never perfected. As Christian men, we already know, we're not perfected until we're dead. Number 6, and this seems to be confused. You need to reject being a nice guy. Okay? I used to be a nice guy. Nice guys, well, they will do whatever they can. Oh, if I'm a really nice guy to this girl, then, I'm gonna go have bedroom fun with her later. Most girls are disgusted by nice guys, or they'll use nice guys as simps, as secondaries, as, emotional sponges for them to cry their tears into. But they will never take you seriously as a man. Never. I would say be a good man. Be a good man, be a decent man, be a masculine man. The reason why I say this is, think about it. Good men will happily take up arms and go to a foreign country to defend the lives of their brothers, their sisters, their countrymen. But they're going to be doing something that's not nice. They're going to be doing something that is not nice. They could be deleting other people. They could see things which are absolutely horrible. They could probably do things which are absolutely horrible. It's not nice. Okay? Setting groundwork with your child for discipline is not nice. But it is good for instruction. Always good for instruction. And usually ends up raising a child who understands that there's cost, there's consequences, there are rewards to those who work. And sometimes you might not get the reward you deserve. One of the other things I find, which I'm gonna kind of give another thing to this, when you're watching these channels, guys, be very, very careful, because I've watched some of these Manosphere channels called guys who are still polite, that are still courteous, that still have a compassionate heart, as being simpish or beta boys. No, because I'm not going to let a girl run all over me. Will I still open the door for a woman? Yeah, but you know what? I'll open the door for a guy too. Who cares? I'm still the type of guy that'll get a lady's door in the car. All right? However, if she is not appreciative of me, I'm going to walk away from her. one of the other things I'll tell you, boys, is learn stoicism. We as men in this modern day and age have become entirely too emotionalized, and for us as men, that's actually not healthy. Okay? Was it healthy to completely swallow your feelings all the time and it comes out sideways at other people like we used to do 50, 60 years ago? No, that's not healthy either. However, you need to have a good group to get together, especially with as men, to be able to discuss what is a healthy way for me to express this. You know, aggressiveness for us. Get it out in the gym. If you need to talk, you need to cry, find a man you trust and do it privately. Obviously, if you're in public, you know, you hear the sad news that maybe, your mom passed away or some close friend passed away. It's okay, guys, if a little tear, or two comes down your, but maintain your frame. Maintain your frame. Women are looking for a rock. Real ones are. Women who actually want a good man in their life, they are looking for a rock. And you kind of have to be one. But there is time and a place for us to be able to express our emotions. And it's not publicly. Don't lose your crap, as they say. Well, I hope that wasn't too rambling. The only thing I will say is, number 7. Learn how to be your own best friend. Learn how to enjoy your own company. Because when you value your own company, you value the things that you love to do. A woman is going to have to work a lot harder to impress you. Trust me on that one. And a lot of times, if you're out there, you're on your own, you're still sitting there smiling, enjoying, you're talking to people you don't even know, women take notice. They do. So to wrap this up, all I'm going to say is, number 1, thanks to Almighty God for allowing me to do this and inspiring me to do this and pushing me to the limits of, well, I feel really weird talking to a camera. But also thank you for watching. If I've earned it, please like, subscribe, share the video. Please comment, suggestions, anything below. I don't mind. Let's just be kind and courteous to one another, however, when we do it. Oh yeah, and to go with the lion theme, claw that notification bell. That way you know when the next video actually comes out. Live in love. God bless. Thank you so much for watching.